Some good and some bad news for Nebraska farmers. While farm income for many is up, so is the cost to run the farm.
They also say drought and other environmental concerns are making it harder to do their jobs. Channel 8's Matthew Mittleiter has more in our top story tonight.
The Nebraska Farm Bureau says the cost to grow crops and drought are among the top concerns for farmers and ranchers in Nebraska. Economists say while farm income is up, the cost of production has soared to record levels. They say costs of diesel, fertilizers, hay, and other products used by farmers and ranchers have risen significantly since January of 2021.
A lot of the same reasons for this is what we're seeing in general inflation. We have the supply problems, the international issues with Russia and Ukraine. A lot of these things is kind of a perfect storm, and unfortunately, as we move into 2023, I don't see it getting a lot better for our farmers and ranchers there in terms of the input costs.
He says the condition of pastures in Nebraska this year is rated from poor to very poor, and the impact of drought is causing some farmers to yield less crops and make less money. According to the Bureau, corn, soybean, and wheat have been the most impacted this year, and those crops alone will have a total estimated loss of nearly $2 billion in value, compared to if there wasn't a drought.
So that is a lost opportunity for this state of Nebraska, not only for our producers, but for our rural communities and the spillover effects out into our rural economies. So that's something that's missing this year that normally we as a state might have had in terms of economic activity that we're not going to have this year.
He says insurance can help offset some of those losses, but there will still be an impact to the state. Ranchers raising cattle have also had to make tough spending decisions, and many have started to liquidate animals based on the state of pastures and cost of feeding supplies. The Bureau says this will have an impact on meat supply and prices over the next few years. Nathan Dorn, a farmer and rancher in Firth, Nebraska, says he's had to raise prices on what he sells to make up for the drop in yield.
As a farmer, it's very difficult to see. And this year, we're not making agronomic versus economic decisions. We're making poor economic decisions versus very poor economic decisions. Nothing seems to be working right as far as penciling out the numbers.
Dorn says when it comes to these types of issues, farmers will always work together as a community to stay afloat. Reporting in Lincoln, Matthew Mittleiter, Channel 8 News.
The Bureau says while many farmers are currently seeing high revenues, they'll have to stay cautious about spending to avoid falling into financial difficulty in the near future.